Keeping It Real on 3FM 92.7. It's an entire hour dedicated to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. As always, I have my co-pilots in the studio. Shasha, make some noise. Shasha. Yeah. What a rambunctious entry into the studio, ladies. How are we doing? Well, I've done that, but we are not Let me say hello and a very, very warm welcome to my usual suspects. It is AJ Sapon. It's your radio princess and the one and only Miss Judy. Miss Judy, happy belated birthday.
Happy belated
What did you get up
birthday.
to on your birthday last week? What did you do? What did you get up to? What did you get? What did you drink? What did you eat?
Where did you go?
What did you That's what you got up to. No wonder.
And in case you're wondering what it says, should we say the title?
Are we allowed?
I think we are.
Are we actually? But let me say hello and a very warm welcome onto the Keeping It Real platform. It is Ami, the sex coach. Whoa. Give it up for
Ambulance,
female and who's the ambulance crew? Oh, meanwhile, you're letting your producer struggle like this. You know that mommy is but slight. And so you have to go and help her. But no, mom, it's okay. Girl power. What
Girl
a man can do.
power.
Oh, we can do. But anyway, Ami, how we doing? Good evening.
I'm feeling very sexy. I'm so happy to
Hey,
be here.
you drew her. Wow. Well, Ami is the author of Hot Sex Every Day. My goodness.
Come on.
I don't know how
Every
much.
day.
Every day.
Every day.
I mean,
Please,
some might say
people
that.
holding copies and I'm not holding a copy. What's
Oh,
going
wait,
on?
That's because you are the guru.
No.
We are hot sex every day, Muguru. Muguru.
Hot sex every day.
Every day. And if you follow Ami on the socials, Ami has a monthly calendar. But Ami, you're not bringing out the calendar anymore. Why? What's up?
Do you know, when I wrote the book, I created a calendar for each month of the year.
So it's all contained in here.
Yes,
Oh,
so I felt like
see.
there was no need to.
So if I'm looking for June, all right. So if you turn to the back of the page, ladies, this
January.
is essential reading for boys and girls.
my God.
December, I think it's December that there was some. I think was it December 13th that you were like you should
let me
go
check.
with a disciplinarian type of vibe.
I'm going to check.
Okay, let's
I think it was because I wanted to implement that.
Let's get into the month
Come
of
here.
June. The month
Yeah.
of June. The month
Do you
of
have June?
June. Yes.
Today's June what?
It tells. I'm sure Miss Judy was up to it because it's saying that you need to explore in different locations
Exactly.
with your significant
But
other.
when we talked about that
Hotel or
dilemma
resort.
where the couple wanted to get it on in the office, you guys were like, no, the economy is too hot, you lose your job.
No, we didn't.
No, Miss Judy, you said that the office was off limits.
So
no,
there's
I
a part. There's a part here
Uh-huh.
that reminds me of a Payday song. He says, "Poof poof, come a shoot here." So you
You
can
and Payday or you for decode your own lyrics.
The interesting comma and then lyrics in there.
Oh,
I know.
explore 10. Okay, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But today is the 11th.
Play sexy.
Say
Jenga.
play sexy Jenga.
So wait, what is sexy Jenga? Okay, do I
So
want
the
to know?
game Jenga, that's the one with the wood, no pun intended,
yeah.
right? And yeah, that's why they pay me.
But what are you replacing to make it sexy?
So you write like very
Interesting.
sexy like
Okay.
things on each.
Okay.
I give you
Oh.
suggestions in the book. If
Oh,
you-
I thought that maybe the sexy Jenga you just played naked, you know? Or that one, there's no
Well,
appeal to that.
But there's another game you can do that. The strip poker.
Strip
And that
poker.
it's in the book.
Okay,
too.
so when is the 13th? Friday?
13th. Okay,
Oh yeah, you're looking for the next style already.
No. 13 is when? Friday?
13 June.
June, yeah. When is 13?
No, that's Thursday.
That's Thursday. Okay, lunch sex. So, Lois, if you are looking for me on Thursday, in any case, let's get this party started. As always, we have a dilemma to sink our teeth into. But before that, our first, shall I say, conundrum or issue that Ami hopefully can help us dissect is whether or not the fairer sex. I'm talking about us women have more sex than our male counterparts do. So if we're ready with that okay, we're not ready? Oh, okay. We're not ready with our first story. So we can get into our proper dilemma or our second dilemma. We'll bring that to the fore and then we'll do the second one once we have the audio ready. So AJ, would you like to do us the honors? And shout out to all of you for indulging us as far as these dilemmas are concerned. This one is a little bit tricky.
Quite tricky.
But ladies, are we ready to offer some good advice?
As per usual.
Miss Julie, is your Bible ready?
Oh, no, we've been joined by Reese as well.
Yes, Risa's here. Yo.
I'm here today.
Risa and I go
My
way back.
former friend.
Former
Don't
friends.
do that.
Now acquaintance.
Oh,
Wow.
it be like that. All right, AJ, are you getting into our dilemma for us?
Let's get into it.
All right.
Hi, keeping it real, ladies.
Hi.
You're going to want to strap in for this dilemma of mine. It's taking me a long time to even talk about it, let alone ask for advice. Please keep me anon or call me a course. I've been with my fiance for 7 years and we have a 5-year-old and a baby on the way. I'm due any day now, hence my dilemma. It's not been a smooth 7 years, but for the most part, we make it work. My parents and friends have never been happy about my relationship with my boyfriend. We'll call him Jeff, but I love him very much and I've been looking forward to becoming a family of 4. 3 weeks ago, my world was rocked to its core. I got an emergency call from a hospital in SA indicating that Jeff had been involved in a motorcycle accident. He had gone for what I thought was a work trip. I even paid for half of his logistics, only to find out that this was not a work trip at all. In fact, he had been involved in an accident with another lady, who is none other than my good friend Grace. As you can imagine, I was hurt, livid, and completely shaken, and I haven't stopped crying. I've been bombarded with so many I'm sorry texts and calls from both Jeff and Grace, but this is super unforgivable in my opinion. I've blocked them both and simply want to move on with my life. His mother has been making a strong case for him, saying I should forgive him because of our kids. I have since decided not to have him in the delivery ward and not to have his name on the birth certificate. Am I punishing him too much or is this justified? As for Grace, she's saying she thought she was in love, but it was just a fallacy. She says she regrets everything that happened and wants a chance to make things right. I've approached her to be my baby's godmother, but surely that cannot be the case now. What should I do?
La ila ila.
Gang.
Whoa. So, who wants to kick things off? This is a woman who is on the brink of labor. 7 years in a relationship with her fiance. They already have a 5-year-old. By all accounts, I mean, it's a relationship. Not everybody will be on board with who you ultimately choose to be with. Her family and friends don't really like him so much, but maybe it's because of reasons like this. He showed maybe his ass in the past, and
But honestly, how do you do this?
how do you do
To a
this?
no, honestly, I find those who cheat on pregnant women like a different level of scum because she's already going through so much emotionally.
Right.
Her body is facing so much change. She's literally adapting to bring a life that you have put in her, and then you decide that the best way to pay her back is not only to cheat, and not that you're cheating with someone outside, you're actually cheating with someone in her home, someone she's invited into her home many times, someone she considers a friend, someone that she's actually considering to be her child's godmother, and you feel that that's okay? Nah, man, he deserves worse.
But you remember there was this time that we said that when a man is cheating, normally the wife is pregnant.
Yeah.
That's the most time that they cheat.
I see.
I was reading the story when we were reading it. It said that they've been dating for 7 years and they are not married. So basically, what are they waiting for? Obviously, that's why the parents are not happy with the whole thing.
Right.
So
that's
what have they been waiting for 7 years?
for 7 years.
They have kids outside marriage and they are still together. Obviously, the man is not really in there. And I always say that if you are not smart, don't cheat. If you don't know the rules to cheating, don't start in the
What
first
are the
place.
rules?
When you are caught, deny.
Hey.
What? Hold up. Deny.
had an accident in another
Until
country.
there's evidence.
Even when there's evidence, deny. When they catch
But you see, this
deny.
time round, I'm guessing, and she didn't go into detail, but what would normally happen is that your next of king or whoever you've put down as your emergency contact, and I'm sure when he put it down, he never expected that he was going to be in a motorcycle accident.
It's another country.
It's another country. Or well, maybe he didn't even put her down, but they might have gone through his, maybe in a state of delirium. He said, "Oh, call my fiance, call my baby mama." You know, when you're about to die, that's when you remember that you have a baby mama that you have left in Ghana.
There. We didn't travel together.
But
I
now
would
the
do
friend
that.
Grace is confessing
She
because
I don't understand it. That's why I said, if
She
you know
needs
you
to
don't
cut
know
it
the
off.
route to cheating, don't start.
don't start the cheating.
Wasn't she also involved in the accident?
but
Yes,
she
the
didn't
friend
die.
too was, and neither of them died.
How would they have lied about that? Because
They
they're
met
both
there.
in the accident.
So I traveled, I met your friend in that country. We decided to hang out and the accident happened. It's that simple.
That's a blatant liar.
Don't make
Okay,
me think you're
let's
being
start
crazy.
way from the top. Okay, already Miss Judy is giving us some red flags. They've been together for 7 years. I don't know how long they've been engaged for, but at least for the 7 years, they've had a 5-year-old and a baby on the way. They're living like a family already. Is it a red flag that they are not yet married and they're just fiance to fiance? Is that a red flag or?
Well, I don't think it's a red flag because not everyone who is ready to like settle down or get married. People like the whole what's the word for it?
Cohabiting.
Cohabitation.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a red flag, but there should be that level of respect among both of you in terms of what you do, because at the end of the day, there's still that commitment between both parties. You know. So yeah.
Okay, so I mean, is it a red flag that her family don't really like him too much? Is that par for the course? Your family and friends are not always going to like who you choose. Are you cutting him off because your friends and family are not feeling his vibe?
I think because they've been living together and they have a child, they have another child on the way, and they are not married, definitely the family won't be happy with that. They would want them to make it official. So that one day, until they make it official, they should expect that kind of reaction from their family and friends. I think she should cut her friends off. Her friend off. She should no longer be her friend, for real. The Grace.
The Grace
Well,
character,
yeah, she
okay,
should
because
leave.
I mean that is wild, and the fact that
Yeah.
she even paid for half of this trip
Yeah,
for
she
him to go only to be cheating. So had he not been in this accident, this friend of hers, Grace, and her fiance would have come back nicely. Would have been in the delivery ward. She would have been the baby's godmother, and they
you
would
know
have
what I mean?
taken even more trips. Now they're Cancun, Mexico, everywhere. Some
It's the audacity that Grace even have to say that she thought
she
was
thought
in
this
love.
was love,
Like-
but it was a fallacy.
A fallacy.
And who
you know?
knows how long it's been going on for.
Yeah, but I think it will be harsh for her to, use the children or as a point to react to the whole situation.
Do you think she should invite this gentleman into the delivery ward?
So-
AJ, are you letting him
No,
come
so-
to watch the birth of this child?
No, but the thing is, the cheating or whatever happened is between she and the man. So no, let me explain. It's between she and the man, but don't use what's it
No,
called?
no, no,
Taking
no,
his
no.
name off the birth certificate.
No,
and
no,
also,
no, no,
he not
no.
coming to the delivery room is okay by me.
I
but
said
think
no,
his-
no,
her
no,
judgment shouldn't
no,
be based on the
no.
children. That's what I'm saying.
But right now,
Wait, but the man decided to dishonor their home.
Thank you.
Dishonor their bond.
Thank you.
Dishonor their friendship. Destroy her closest friendship. And still thinks he has some access to everything else. No, you're not going to be in that delivery room. In fact,
But he's gone and now got his mother to go and make a case for him. You know, Mumsy, go and say some on my behalf. You know, she's being
but
unreasonable.
the mother doesn't have. The mother is not in the relationship with them.
That's true.
The mother is just a family member or support system in that relationship. He chose to violate everything she holds sacred and destroys not with anybody away. You see, sometimes it's easier for you to accept, not forgive, but accept when someone cheats with someone outside. It's harder for you to accept when it's someone very close to you, to the point that this is someone we will consider. Literally, they both, for her to have said it's going to be a godmother, they
Yes.
both sat down, they both discussed it, and they both
He was
decided
thinking,
that
godmother, God wife, God sighting, God everything.
Helping her sister.
they both decided.
She was helping her sister.
Helping her sister.
I want to find out what Miss Judy means by helping her
Okay,
sister.
so-
But before that, let me welcome into the conversation Jude Speaks, the God author, poet, and influencer. Jude, good evening. How we doing?
I'm all right. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Looking very well. Are you in the Bahamas?
No, man. I'm in London, where we have 5 weathers a day.
Oh my goodness. It's not quite summer, is it? It should be. It's June.
It is June, but it's rained today. It's been very cold. It's still cold now. We've had a bit of sun, and the only thing I'm waiting for now is for snowflakes to start dropping.
Oh boy, I think I checked the weather in London today. I don't know why. I think it was 15 degrees, something along those lines.
Yeah, it's just been flipping, like flip-flops, you know.
I've missed that gloomy town. But Jude, weigh in on this for us, okay? This is a woman who's been with her baby daddy for 7 years. They have a 5-year-old baby on the way. She finds out because he was in a motorcycle accident that he was with her friend, who is also his side piece, at a different location, a location that she actually paid half for him to be there. The baby is coming any day now, and she says, I don't want him in the delivery room. Is that something that she is going to one day regret? Or is that an offense for which she can decide to exclude her baby daddy from her kid's life?
Before can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, before I go dive in, because there's a bit of confusion here. You've just introduced him as the baby daddy, and you then introduced the lady that he was caught with as his other side piece. So does that mean this lady who's pregnant is the side piece as well?
Then let me clarify. I believe that she's the main lady, the fiance. The other lady will call her, I guess, the side piece. That's the correction.
Okay.
Got it.
Because this day and age, we have so many terminologies.
You're right.
If you're married, husband and wife. If you're not married, we have what we call common law partners. We have what we call cohabitation. For me, I just said, look, we're man and woman. We decide to stay together. It works. Marriage is just paper. Again, I have to come to that. It's the pressure of society to put some sort of sanity in our lives so that they can differentiate us from dogs. That's why they brought marriage into our lives and say, okay, there's a thing they call marriage, this paper, you and you, for inheritance purposes and all. So we don't really know what sort of relationship they have. But that aside, though, this friend who's gone away with this dude, probably they've been doing this behind her back for a while now. She has to ask herself a lot of questions, man. What did I miss? What is happening? But again, during pregnancy, like one of our first speakers said, it's a very tough time for both woman and man. I have 3 children. And if you really not sat with maybe your father or your mother, the girls sat with their mother to discuss these things as you go into relationship with a man or a woman, you won't really know. I never sat with any guy to tell me what to expect in what we call marriage today. When my wife was heavily pregnant, I didn't touch her because I didn't know whether I should touch her or do anything. And our first baby wasn't coming out as they predicted. I was advised in the hospital, you need to have sex with her for this baby to come out. And we went home and we did it. Before we even finished, she was rushing back to the hospital to give birth. So again, when she gave birth, I'm a man. Blood runs through my vein, my head, and my dick. And I wanted sex almost like, I would say a couple of hours.
Hey!
That's just where I was. I'm telling you the real thing, because I'm in the bed with my wife, your body charges up. But I was okay at the time, smart enough to know, no, you can't do that. What I saw in the labor room is so, I don't want to use terrible words, but it's so tough on a lady's body that you cannot really be tapping her for sex right now. So I was able to put my body in check. But like the first speaker said, not every man can control himself at that time. They'll want to go out or there'll be trouble at home. So I'm not justifying this guy. I'm just saying that happened. And that always happens. But the fact that he's gone away with her best friend and she paid for half the trip, things happen. Look, a man can even pay for his own girlfriend to go see our other side dick as well. It happens. Life happens to everyone, you know.
Wow.
Whatever punishment she chooses to put on this dude, it's fine by me. That's her life. That's her own decision.
Is she overreacting? Is she overreacting if she says, I don't want him in the labor ward?
No, I don't think she's overreacting. She's right to say, I don't want this despicable person in the labor ward. If that was me too, it would be the right decision, no matter how I beg and say, please, please, please. It would be the right decision for her to make because she's been hurt by her friend, her so-called close friend, and the guy she thought she was going to end up marrying. So she's right by saying, I don't want you there. I don't want your name on the birth certificate. Just go. I'm the one carrying the baby.
Yeah.
I'm the one going to put this baby out. Because again, at the end of the day, this has happened. How are they ever going to come back from this and build trust, especially when it's happened with his friend? You know what I mean?
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is for me.
All right, fantastic, Jude. Thank you for that preamble. Ami, I'll come to you on this one.
Okay.
What are your thoughts, given everything that's gone on, everything that we've heard about their relationship? And I mean, from what we read, she didn't appear to be a woman that's fed up with this guy. She's clearly still wanting to be with him. Do you say she's overreacting? She says she does not want him on the birth certificate, and that's what she's specifically asking us about, whether or not she should just, for the sake of, I don't know, memories and whatever else. You know, couples make up all the time, and then she can look back and say, listen, at least daddy was there when you were born. What do you think?
I think he deserves every punishment she wants to give him. But like, she needs to hold on with the birth certificate thing. Like, she can have it in mind. It's okay for her to not want him in the delivery room, of course. Him being there can affect her. It can affect the process too, because she's in pain. She's hurt by him. So it's okay that she doesn't want him around. But with this birth cert, he's the father of the baby. So regardless, even if she decides that she's going to end things with him, and I mean, they can co-parent, he still needs to be in the children's life. So with the birth certificate there, he's still the father of the child. So she can think about it later. It's not important right now. But I feel like he deserves any punishment. He should just be willing to bear any consequence. He did it. And for the friend, she should be out of their lives.
Miss Judy, I need to hear from you.
Okay, so Hebrews 13:4.
Hey.
This one, I'm coming
Preach
from her.
on!
For me,
Yes, because he said cohabitation is not a sin.
I didn't
Hey.
say it's a sin. I
Consider
said it's
sex-
a red flag.
Okay, well, I'll say it for you. It's not a sin. Please,
Okay,
carry
so
on.
it considers sex outside marriage to be immoral. Let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the married bed be undefiled for God. It also says that flee from sexual immorality, and it lists a whole lot of things that you should flee from. So the guy basically, oh no,
It means that everyone is sinning.
who? Please, I'm not sinning. AJ is not sinning. She's still a virgin.
I have never sinned.
She's
I'm
still a
still a
virgin.
virgin.
Oh, please.
Yes.
Oh, please. Okay, so Miss Judy, break it down for us.
Okay, so basically, fine with what she said. You can't deny the guy fatherhood. He impregnated you. But for a guy to not hold himself, as he said, after everything that we've gone through, and decide to cheat on you with a friend, because I would always say that it's always best to cheat with a stranger, but don't cheat at all.
It's best to cheat with a stranger. Why is that?
Especially if you are not good at the job.
If you're not
My-
good at the cheating, go for
my
a
friend will
stranger.
know
Jude
what
is
to do.
cracking up. Jude, have you heard this one before?
I think
Someone
I
you
like
don't
that
know.
though. But I think
Yeah.
what he's trying to say is
It's smarter.
it's best to do it further from home,
Yeah.
further away from home,
Yeah.
Okay.
so that you don't
that
set
you
fire
don't,
at home. I think that's what
Okay,
he's trying
fair
to
enough.
say.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
But you know the world is round, and people know people.
Yeah,
And
but-
you-
Oh, and I
you
mean,
might
cheating
meet-
in Accra, you will never get away with it. So maybe go out of the
Oh,
jurisdiction
you get away.
even.
Accra is big.
Hey, Miss Judy, you know the keys inside,
is
oh.
big.
Accra is big if you want it to be big.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't hurt as much as somebody that close.
Yeah.
So don't bring it close to home if that's how, because now she has to do, it's a 2-for-1 now,
What
a
you
2-for-1
don't know
special.
doesn't hurt.
She's losing
I
her
prefer
sister.
not to.
But Miss Judy, as a woman who's married with kids, would you be okay if you didn't have your other half, your husband, your support system with you on that day? Would you look back and think, despite everything, I should have just forgotten about how I was feeling and allowed him in? Because I understand for women, it's such a monumental day situation. Will she regret it one day?
I don't think so. Especially
She'll remember the hurts that
Yeah.
she felt. Okay.
because that room needs to be, I don't know whether I should say holy or something.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of mixed feelings. I remember I almost gave up with my first child.
My
I
goodness.
told myself I'm tired because after pushing for 1 hour, they told me, Madam, when you're
Hey!
what else do you want me to do? And my mom-in-law is a midwife, so she was
Okay.
also worried. I didn't want her to come inside because she's not come to see my nakedness. I was like, no, don't allow her in.
Okay.
But after an hour, I noticed Charlie at this point.
Ajigong.
So when she came in, she was like, the child is almost choking. Like, it's
So
twisted.
do something.
I was like, ministry, like I can't push again. I'm exhausted.
Ej, are you hearing this?
So whatever should
Sorry,
happen,
you are
should
you have
happen.
been practicing. Listen to the end
as a
result.
virgin,
Masa,
I'm
masa.
not there
Masa,
yet.
masa, swing the mic, Miss Judy.
So finally, she decided to actually push it out. So like, there's a process, but I think that's like, it's painful. I don't want
Okay.
to go through CS and the labor are already dilated, so
Uh-huh.
they have a way of pushing it out,
Oof.
but that's painful. So I wouldn't want to see someone I don't want to see at that point. I'd rather want to see people that can support me, are loving and all that. And after what he's done, I'm hating you at that point. Why would I want to see your face? Like, you're the last person I want to see.
So you say if when it comes to the
She would
delivery,
not
you
regret
should
it.
she will not regret it
No.
because she wants to deliver in peace as well.
Yeah, but not having the father in the children's life, I think is something she might regret.
So while she can take her time in this process and decide who to be around her, ultimately when the baby comes though, she should reconsider how she integrates him back into the fold. We have another, shall I say, issue conundrum that we want to sink our teeth into, but I don't know whether we can allow for you all at home to weigh in really, really quickly on this particular issue, whether or not you think Our Lady, of course, is doing too much, as it were. So final verdict. Jude, what's your final verdict? Is she doing too much or not doing too much?
Like I said, she's been hurt, man. If this was the first time, the first time we hit her so hard and cut through her like a knife. So her emotions are everywhere. She's pregnant and all of that. She feels like she's been let down. She's got no support and all of that. At her most lowest point in life, you've just gone up, lied to me that you were going for work purposes. I even funded half of the trip, and rather you were there with my best friend, my so-called best friend, and frolicking about. So I think whatever sort of punishment she decides to dish out, she might not be thinking it straight, but it's almost appropriate, it's almost fitting for the crime that's been committed, because she is really, really, really hurt. And the reason I'm saying this is, I've been on the receiving end of having to kneel down and say, please forgive me for what I did.
What did you do?
Don't know if I should. Okay. I stepped out. I stepped out of my.
Jude.
So my wife found things in my bag when I came back.
Miss Judy says you are a learner. You are a learner. You are a learner.
Exactly.
Oh, deny.
You're absolutely right. But
You didn't get the
what she
memo.
saw, I could not deny.
Got
I
it.
fell asleep and she used my fingerprint to open my phone. So I couldn't deny that for a fact. So I had to say, yes, it happened. I'm not going to lie. And I'm seeing this lady. And I've been seeing this lady for a while. So the point I'm trying to make, I still said, yeah. I had to come clean, because what's the point of lying?
Fair.
So, exactly, but she was hurt. And it's still ongoing today. And it's been more than a year. And it still affects us like much. I'm saying it here with my full chest.
Fair.
But the point I'm saying is, at that point, like my wife too, she trusted me to the highest heavens. Like, how could you? I never saw this coming. So it's very, 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 very heartbroken. And there was a question she asked: if the reverse was the case, how would you deal with it? I was like, I don't know. So if we were in this, if the reverse was the case, how would that guy react? He would have kicked her out even with the pregnancy. Go away, go back to your parents, blah, blah, blah. So I'll say, whatever punishment she decided to dish out, whether she chooses to forgive him, let it be her choice. Whether she decides to say, you know what, I don't want your name on this birth certificate, get love. You hurt me so bad. Again, she's at her lowest point in life, and whatever the punishment she decides, it's fitting for the crime. Trust me.
That's fair. I hope you are still on punishment, Jude. In any case, thank you so much for weighing in on this particular one. If you two at home have a few words for Our Lady, of course, we'll invite you to do so. And then we'll get on to our next issue. Our telephone numbers are as follows: 0559 242 717 or 0556 910 154. So it's 0559 242 717 or 0556 910 154.
Yeah. Oh no.
We typically do. We'd love to hear from you on this particular dilemma.
Don't lose my five senses.
And the phone lines are blinking. Hello, good evening. Who's calling? Where are you calling us from?
Hello,
Hello, good evening. Who's calling?
Dinah
Hi, Dinah. Where are you calling us from?
from Tema.
From Tema. Dinah, weigh in on this dilemma for us. What do you think?
I think the guy deserves.
Oh, we lost you, Dinah. Give us a call back. Hello, good evening.
Mimi, no. But you know,
Who's speaking? Where are you calling us from?
oh, Nana Kwesi, Charlie, I'm at that truth.
Ah, Nana Kwesi, Chairman.
So that you never came.
Oh, Chairman, me ba enche.
You,
Me,
you are behaving like some current president that I know.
Oh,
They
Jaisa.
never fulfill their
Jaisa,
promise.
does that president wear round space with a round head?
What I can say, he's very short.
Hey!
Sakura.
Wait there, a lion has it too. All right.
Oh,
Nana
Charlie.
Kwesi, let's hear you, please. What are your
So
thoughts?
I want to take you from this side here. You see how all the time there's this mantra: oh, women have soft hearts, or women are emotional, or women are like this. So if all we make it automatic for women, yeah. So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, so if women are all this that you people say, it's automatic for them. Aren't they supposed to be the best people to understand and feel it for a sister?
So you
right.
say that the friend Grace who went on
Of
that trip,
course. So
okay.
if you are saying women are all this, and now you people keep saying that, oh, men can never understand.
Yeah, that's old
women.
job. That's old jabby. You
No.
need a job also.
Oh,
Take
yes.
time.
Let
Oh,
me fire
Charlie,
you
Charlie,
people
jabbing,
No, this one there.
This
Because
one there.
the woman didn't take the
I'm
vow with the man.
I'm
The
coming.
man
You
took
are-
his vow.
We will get there. Don't worry. You see, so if we say all of these things, I'm saying that isn't she supposed to feel it for this friend that she called a sister? So that she wouldn't even try going out with. Even if the man whether the man is the one who first made the advance or whatever, is she supposed to understand, knowing that your friend is pregnant? Aren't you supposed to understand and feel it for your friend and not go on that tangent, knowing very well that when she finds out, it's going to cut her deep? Aren't you supposed to be the one to understand it better than, let me say, a man? What I'm trying to say is, human beings are very wicked. It doesn't matter your gender. So pray for good people. These things we attribute to women.
Surely.
It can never be gender specific. See, if you are fortunate and you meet a good person, you've met a good person. Oh, it has nothing to do with the agenda. That is what I'm driving towards. And as for the mom bait, see, my brother, recently, he's been doing some kululu things.
Hey.
And he's married, yeah. And you see, I'm the brother, so most of the time he talks to me about some of these things. And I realized that just like this woman is trying to do for her son, my parents were doing the same thing. And I called them and I'm like, you people, what are you doing?
Hey, you
I
confronted
did.
your parents.
Why wouldn't I? Because they are helping my brother misbehave. And that's what they are doing.
Nana Kwesi.
I told them to put a stop to it.
All right, Nana Kwesi, round up for me. I've got some other callers on the
No,
line. The way you are
sorry,
chuking there.
Oh, yes. You see,
Hey.
I'm very, very practical. If somebody is fooling, tell the person that they are fooling. Don't massage anything. It's as simple as that. He deserves everything. Right now, the lady should focus on herself.
Right?
If we are not careful, I think right now she should see a professional, whether a mental health professional or something. Because right now, if you are not careful, pregnancy complications, it can happen very easy.
That's
This
true.
gentleman has to stay very far away from her and the girl. And one thing too, you see, people who you call your friend,
We should be
they are
careful
the
of
ones
them.
they are the ones who have your back at your absence, not the ones who smile and try to be there for you.
That's
in your
true.
parents. The ones that in your absence will defend you.
That's right.
You they let
That's the
someone else
truth.
come.
Absolutely. Nana Kwesi, try me why I'm ever. I'll get on to my next caller. Oh, they couldn't hang on. But we'll park it here for this dilemma. And Nana Kwesi said it right. Love is wicked. to this song when you were young, you never knew that love was indeed wicked. You were singing, love is wicked.
I had no idea that this was just, it was telling us that beware of it all. Because the way love can be wicked.
And on that very wicked note, we'll get on to our next conundrum of the evening. And if we're ready, we'll take a listen. And Ami, we want your thoughts on this particular one. Ami is the author of Hot Sex Every Day. Let's take a listen.
Women sleep around more than men. If you bring an average woman, when I say average, you know what an average woman is? A normal woman. Not too beautiful, not just normal, plain woman. You bring an average man, somebody that earns maybe 50,000 naira a month. Yeah, that's an average man. You put them together, ask the man how many women he has slept with in his lifetime. You will see that sometimes that man might actually be a virgin. He has not slept with anybody. But you see that average woman, if they ask her body count, she don't they go 20 to 30. And you sit down here and tell me that men are more promiscuous. Men are not promiscuous. Women are much more promiscuous than men. If we begin to tell ourselves body counts, that's your husband will marry you. Feed be saints. They don't run you over. I'm not a saint. I'm telling you. But most women don't sit down to think about this critically. Because men are not scums. Men are not cheaters. Most men cannot cheat because they don't have access to sex. It is the small, rich men that are able to pick from these ashawo women where go open their nyash because a man get money to give them. So no, now, men are not cheats. Men are the most faithful. Men are the most, reasonable. Women are the ones that sleep around. Men don't sleep around. They don't have the luxury to do that. That's
born to this earth. I haven't slept with any woman before. I am purely virgin. Because of this, when I pray to God, it goes straight to God.
Those of you here, when you pray, where does it go to?
It goes direct to God.
I want to be euphemistic, shall I say, sanitary with my language, but she was talking a lot of hot garbage.
Yeah.
Okay. Lady, that was a lot of hot, thank you, hot steaming garbage.
Because honestly, how are men less promiscuous than women? That doesn't make any sense.
First of all, I don't know where she did her research, what the sample size was, and all of that. But maybe she has some sort of point. I recall it would have been 2021 when the stats came out from the Ghana Statistical Service. They said that nearly 1 million Ghanaians had filed for divorce. So we expanded the conversation a little bit and spoke with a divorce lawyer, and he said for as many women that are coming to the courts to divorce their other halves on the basis of cheating, you have the same for the men as well. So a bunny cheating a pound for pound, we are going boot for boot. Are you with me? And I said, hey, that's what's going on. So maybe on that score, we can see that the playing field is being leveled out. Somebody who I know has a lot of intel on this one is Jude. Don't worry. Jude knows what I'm talking about. Jude, if you're still with us, please weigh in on this one. This lady says the women are having more fun than you guys. Please tell me it's a lie.
It's a lie.
I think you touched on very important things like what was the sample size? Where did she carry her research? But the ladies also touched on anecdotal facts as well. If I was going to say from my own experience, I'll say a lady that's 46 like me, from my experience, she would have gone through a lot of men, or what we call, what do they call it again? Body counts. She would have had more body count than me as a guy. And that lady just now touched on some facts. So, for example, growing up, I know when I was talking to girls when I was growing up in Nigeria, they wouldn't listen to me because I had no room to take them to one. I had no money to buy them Fanta and shortbread cake at the time. So dudes who had that, that's why she said a small sample of dudes. Dudes who had that were scoring girls. But for the girl, she didn't have to bring anything to the table. All she had to be was just a girl, and the guys would go fall for her. So as a result of that, those girls that grew up with me had more sex than I ever had, So if you're looking at it from that sample, I think she's quite accurate. And from what I've heard as well, from all of this podcasting and talk show we do, from what we've heard, some of the stories, we don't put them out there, but looking at it again, even in London, comparison with age, girls of the same age with guys that would have gone through more body count, ratio by ratio to the guys.
I see. Okay. You also didn't state your sample size, and as you said, it's anecdotal. It's anecdotal because
If you want me to say that, I can count my sample size.
you bring the sample size. But let me find out from the ladies. What do you think? I think it's one thing to have a perception that, you know, just by virtue of women being women, they can easily get laid, right? That assertion is there. It's easy to assume that because we can get it, we are just getting it. But I don't know. I mean, this is your field. You're a sex coach. You speak with a lot of men and women, those that want to get help on their sex lives, their dating lives, all of that. From where you sit, from your, shall I say, professional standpoint, what is the tea? What is the truth?
So we can't say that women sleep around more than men. We can't say that because although it's true that women get we have options. Because like I can go out right now, and if I wanted to have sex with everybody that wants to have sex with me, it would be an uncountable number.
Hey,
because I mean, as a woman, once you look good and you go out, a lot of men want to hit on you.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that I'm sleeping with every man that wants to hit on me because they have that many options.
Okay.
Yeah, there are number that like there's a percentage of women that actually have like they sleep around, like they sleep with a lot of people. Like they don't care. But you cannot compare it to men and say that it's more than men, because men be looking for any chance to cheat. Men be like they go out, and when they meet women, right, they just try their luck a lot of times. And you don't and although it's true that a lot of men who need to have money and maybe certain things for women to like want to have sex with them, there are some men that don't have anything. It's just how they are, their vibe, their personality.
That is true. There are some men who don't have kobo, don't have much, but they have soul.
And a lot of men like women to get in their pants.
Yeah.
So like,
hey, AJ, you are really nodding.
You really, you can't say that it's more. Like we are at a point where like, I mean, people share stories and all, and we know that women are out there like that.
Yeah,
too.
the women
but
are
it's
enjoying.
not more than men. Like it's similar.
It's similar.
I'll say
okay.
it's similar.
So Ami being I guess an expert in this arena says it's similar. Maybe we are on par. Miss Judy, what do you think? Is the modern woman now so liberated that she can go neck to neck or competes with the modern man as well?
I think we are competing with the modern.
Yeah, you think we can go toe to toe?
We are.
Okay.
There's this thing that we all keep saying that what a man can do, we can do better.
And we are doing it better.
Whoa,
whoa. Let's have a hands of applause. Wow. Charlie, ladies, you do all.
But the thing is, the men cheat with the women. So
the numbers.
Well, clearly the men are cheating with some, but I think a fact we don't get is yes, men are cheating and they are not cheating with them. Well, at least some of them are not cheating with themselves. Most of them are cheating with other women. But then you realize that it's probably one. So a gentleman will want to go through a number of ladies as his body count. But a lot of these ladies, some of them he will sleep with once, and she'll probably never sleep with any other man again for like a year or 2 or 3, and then now meet someone else. So when you're looking at it, yes, you're sleeping with other women, but sometimes that woman, that would have been her first, that would have been her second, and she'll probably just have 3 men for her whole existence. The next person she'll sleep with.
They said if a woman tells you 3, multiply by 3, and then add 1 for every year she was born.
But then you would see that the men some are lying to get with these women, some of them are pretending to get with these women, some of them are telling the woman what they want to hear to get with these women. So they'll end up going through a number of women, but these women will not directly go right next to sleeping with another man. So at the end of the day, they may have slept with 20 women in a year, but those 20 women will end up not having any other sexual partner for another 2 years, and then that would have been their second encounter, then the next one is the third one or whatever. But yes, these days, and I must be honest, the new generation of ladies that are out there are very sexually liberated, which is not a bad thing. You understand? It's good for them to explore their sexuality, to know that they can get pleasure when they want to and not be subjected to another man's whims and capricious, and you can be able to go out there and earn your orgasm or have it or whatever it is whenever you want to, and sin in Miss Judy's opinion. But at the same time, also need to be wary of the fact that some women who are they may be sexually or liberated, but not necessarily exploring with multiple sexual partners. They're with one person, they're exploring their sexuality with that person. So yes, they may seem like they're this very very out there person, but they're with one sexual partner and they're exploring all the things they need to explore. They're going through Ami's book and they're enjoying hot sex every day with the same person. Do you understand? So we also need to be wary of that fact that women, yes, the ones you think are the most sexually liberated end up actually being with just one partner because they actually are able to express themselves better when they're in a loved, safe, secure, committed relationship. So I think that might just be a misconception that is being perpetuated. But honestly, I don't think women are more promiscuous than men. Bye.
Also, well, I think because there's that concept or that notion that women are always being chased for, so men always have to chase. That's why, so it's difficult for men to get as compared to women, as you said earlier on. So I think, again, it's a misconception, but I feel both parties actually cheat.
Since I was born to this earth, I haven't slept with any woman before. I am purely virgin.
To all the virgins out there, hope you have enjoyed this evening's show. If you're not a virgin, that's okay. That's okay. That's probably because you have gotten Ami's book and you're having hot sex every day. We're wrapping up the conversation on keeping it real. I would have loved to have gotten your thoughts on this particular one, but we can always shelve it for a part 2. Jude, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and I know you'll be back again. As I mentioned, I hope you are still on punishment. So, no, but on a lighter note, thank you so much for keeping it real with us, because we know that romantic relationships are hard, and if we can learn a thing or two from you, we're always happy to do so. So do enjoy the rest of the gloomy London weather. We'll connect very shortly indeed. Thank you so much. And that was Jude giving us some much needed gems this evening. Ladies, thank you as well for the advice. I think as far as Akos is concerned, the consensus is that she should do what makes her happy in this moment as she's about to bring life into the world, because it's not an easy feat at all. And I think from the comments as well on the socials, you think that as well. I'm not sure if we can run through any comments real quick before we go. I know on Facebook, you're all very active on Facebook, so we'll see if there are any.
Okay, so getting into some messages now. Orlando Newman says, my only concern is his name must be on the birth certificate. We will leave the rest to time. Joseph says, in conclusion, both Grace and Jeff are madmen. Fresh Niela says, my question is, had they not been involved in the accident, would you have found out they were together? Move on, my sister. Mr. Mentor says, seems you're willing to forgive your friend Grace, but have hardened your heart to forgive someone you just said you love. If you don't forgive him, you cage yourself as well. There's no way you forget what he did to you. Better forgive him and free yourself as well. Clarice Narcos says, leave the kids out of this mess and deal with him. He never denied the pregnancy, so why won't you add his name to the birth certificate? Don't do anything that'll make your kids...
Have you been listening to what is going on?
Don't do anything that'll make your kids suffer in the future. Let him be responsible.
Your kids will not know. I don't know who was there when I was born. And in fact, my dad wasn't even there when I... And look how I turned out.
Come on.
So sensible, so wise.
Thank you. Going into Sheila's message, from sister to sister, move on as you have said and be firm with it, but let him have access to the kids as their father. God will sort you out. Who knows what he's been doing with others and how he's been playing you for a fool.
Oh boy, well, we'll park it here for keeping it real. Thank you so much for keeping us company. Next week, of course, we're back with so much more Wahala. Keep your dilemmas coming and keep your thoughts, opinions also coming. This has been Keeping It Real with myself, Miss Jude, AJ Sapon Risa, as well as Ami Shika. Make sure you get hot sex every day.
Yes. Where can we get it though? Where can we find the books?
Okay, it's on Amazon. Hot Sex Every Day.
Amazon.
And you can DM me on Instagram, Amishika, on Twitter, Miss Amishika, for a copy. It's $250 if you want a hard copy in Accra.
For the hard copies. Yeah, you know where
Very
to go.
hard copy.
All right, well, God might not be done with you, but we what? We are. We'll see you next week.